Hello everyone, I'm Aurelia Bachmann. I'm part of Albero della Tuscia. Albero della Tuscia is a democratic school in the center of Italy, 1.5 hours from Rome. We are located in a natural reserve, so in the middle of the forest. And yes, today I would like to share with you a presentation about self-directed learning. First, we will have a look at our agenda of today. First, we want to see what do we really need as human. We will have a look on a comparison between directed and self-directed learning. We will see the benefits of self-directed learning. We will talk about the role of the teacher, the 3 L's of self-directed learning, and how to put self-directed learning in practice. And I will show you some examples. And yes, and later there will be also exercises that you can find in another part of the tool. So what do we need? We need today creative thinkers who can deal with practical and abstract issues, some of which have not even arisen. The thing is today that we have a really complex world. We have things that are fastly changing, new technologies, new ways of living, and everything is really fast. So we have to be creative, we have to be flexible, and also always able to adjust to the current situation, because it's nothing that lasts for a long time, because there are so many information from all over the world. Everything is diverse and fastly changing, and we have to be able to solve problems that maybe we didn't know yesterday, but they arise today, and tomorrow there will be a different challenge again. So we have to be always able to find an innovative idea to face these new challenges. So basically, this is what we need. We need flexibility, creativity, and ready to face every day new challenges and new technologies that maybe we didn't expect to arise. First, I would like to talk about human needs, because I think this is a fundamental thing when we talk about self-directed learning. Here we have a listing of 4 human needs. The first one is to be heard and to be listened to be understood and comprehended, to be accepted, and to be appreciated. And all these together fulfill the need of belonging that we all have. And I think it's the same for children as for adults, that we need to be in a safe space where we feel that we can learn in a relaxed mode, like that there's no danger around, and that those needs are met. So that there are adults, but also other children who listen to us, who are interested in what we are feeling. They want to understand us, and that we feel accepted, like in the community, that we feel appreciated. And I think appreciation is also like a really important point for the self-directed learning approach, because we feel like our individual talents are interesting for the community, we are useful for the community. And I think this is something that is really one of the fundamentals of self-directed learning. So let's have a look at the comparison between directed and self-directed learning. To begin with directed learning means that there is like a curriculum that you have to follow, and usually it's directed by a teacher. So there's a really unified evaluation system. It's not individual at all, because everyone is seen as the same. So everyone has the same criteria with which they are evaluated. So normally there's one teacher or teacher role, and this teacher or mentor or whatever is the one that is identifying like what are the things to learn and what the children have to develop and in which way. So there is no flexibility on side of the children usually. this means also that the children has like a quite passive role. They have to accept the rules that are given by a superior person, and so there's also kind of a dependence and a way of following another person, and this person also decides what is right and what is wrong. So while when we see self-directed learning, there is usually no strict teaching plan, so it's quite flexible, and the adult doesn't have a central power position, but it's more like a mentor, something who is walking beside of you, and a supporter, but the student itself is responsible for what they are learning. So the student learns also how to make goals, how they want to improve their skills. They know, or they have to be able to make own decisions on where, what, or when, and how they want to learn the things they decided to learn. So students are more independent, but they also have more responsibility. The experience itself is very personalized, so no student is like the other. So it's more free, and usually also like on a physical level, there's like often more the possibility to move freely around. So there's not the obligation to stay seated for 8 hours or even 5 or something, but there's more like the freedom to stand up, to drink, to go to the toilet, and meet the personal needs. So now we will have a closer look on self-directed learning. What does it mean exactly, self-directed learning? Self-directed learning is an education that derives from the self-chosen activities and life experiences. So the student is quite free to learn what they want, like what they feel interested in, what are the activities they want to fill their day with. This depends a lot on their personal experience, maybe what they feel attracted to, what awakens their curiosity. There is not a forced curriculum, but it's something quite fluid, and depends like on the personal path of every child. Self-directed learning sees the children, but also humans in general, as biological and intrinsically motivated. So the idea is that motivation is something that we are born with, so we are naturally willing to learn new things, and curious about, also depending on our culture, but to learn how to live and what to learn new things and improve our skills in the daily things. And self-directed learning is also anchored in the belief that the most efficient and long-lasting way of learning is when the goals are chosen by the learner itself. So the learner feels way more motivated and curious, and also more long-lasting when he chooses on himself or herself what she wants to learn. So maybe some of you are asking the question, what does the teacher do in a self-directed learning environment? Because I also heard sometimes people saying, but so the teacher, there's no sense, there is no need for the teacher. This is not the case. I think the role is just changing. Self-directed learning sees the adult more as a supporter, helper, mentor, that are there to accompany the child in a journey of self-discovery. So I think it's really important that there is an adult close by, and it's just about taking a step back and listen to the children's real interests. So yeah, I think it's also a really beautiful role to be a teacher, to accompany a young person in their personal path. So and I think it's very important to trust in the children and give them full support and also the tools to express who they are, so they are able to reveal their full potential. I think this is also a really important point, because it's up to us adults to make it possible that the children have everything they need to learn what they want to learn, because there are things that maybe only adults can offer, maybe because they have a driving license or because they can organize material that maybe children don't have the ability to get this material. And so yeah, it's really important to create an environment that is makes it easier and pleasure ple- joyful to learn these things. So it's important that we try to nurture the joy, the fascination, the curiosity, and the passion while learning. Yeah. And we have a quote that says, "All people are creative if they are allowed to develop their unique talents." Because I think there are often people who say, "Yeah, but I'm not creative," or "My child is not creative," or and I think this is like a misbelief, because every one of us is creative, and everyone has its own talents. It just needs the place and the environment to discover and to express it in the end. So, what are the benefits of self-directed learning? The benefits are that self-directed learning allows us to learn essential skills for life. And this is, for example, about decision making. When you organize your own path of learning, you have to be able, or you have to learn how to make your own decisions from a young age already. And you have to organize your day, you have to plan, you have to collaborate, because maybe you need a person who knows what you want to learn. So you have to go in communication, you have to be creative to find a way to learn what you want to learn. So all these skills are really essential for life, and I think many of us, me included, have maybe difficulties to make decisions when they're adults, because it's something that you're not really used to, because all the time in school there was another person deciding for you what you have to learn and how you have to learn it. So you reach at the age of 18 and you have to decide what you want to study, and it's like, seems like an overwhelming decision to make, because you're not used to it, to decide something for yourself this big. I mean, so another benefit is that self-directed learning is a really direct reflection of each student individual interest, needs, goals, desires, and more. It's so personalized, because none of the paths are the same, because every child has different experiences, has different interests, and it's, yeah, so various, like all the humans, that there is never one path that is the same like the other. And I think this makes it also really enriching, because you have so many children with different interests and different things they want to learn, and it's often also very complementary. So yeah, it's beautiful to see like the diversity, and also how they can help each other, because maybe there's one child that is really interested into one thing that the others are not. So yeah, I think this is also the beauty of a group of children that are able to learn in a self-directed way. usually their experiences are way more interesting, meaningful, and also personally relevant to the learner. Because when you can choose how you want to learn, and maybe also with who and when, and you can be guided by your curiosity, children are way more interested. So studies have shown that the learning is way more effective because there is a connection, like an emotional connection to what you're learning, to the content. And this has as a result that the learned content is way more long lasting in your brain and in your memory. So and the last point is that making your own decisions on what you want to learn can increase also the self-esteem. And because children feel way more, they feel like, okay, I made this decision, this is what I, and it feels good, like to have also kind of the power over your life and what you want to learn and in which direction you want to go. And I think there is nothing more beautiful than learning from their own experiences instead of having someone who just tells you, like, with words how things are. But I felt it, so I know it, and I trust also in the fact that it's true because I saw it and I felt it. So there are some more benefits of self-directed learning. One benefit is also that it improves the well-being of the learner, because he feels that what he's learning is in line with what he's believing in and what are his values. And so it feels like it's a very satisfying approach, a very satisfying process, because I think each one of us knows the feeling of learning something that you're not really interested into. So it's something that goes against a part of you. But when you learn what you are interested in, it leads to well-being. So and another really important point is that the process of self-directed learning teaches students how to learn and to see learning as a process. So it's really important because also in the future life, it's a skill that is really useful when you know what questions to ask and how to ask them and where to find answers. And because learning is something that doesn't stop after school, it's something that is continuing all life, and it's really really useful to know how to learn and how to gain new knowledge and to feel what you're interested in and so on. And moreover, self-directed learning is also really beneficial for the mental health, because the children feel that there's self-determination, so they have like control over what they are doing, what they want to learn. And yeah and then there's also the physical part. We were already talking about it before, that the fact that children can move freely is really good for the physical health also, because I mean, we all know how sitting on a chair for hours and not moving a lot is sometimes causing back pain or whatever. And the fact that in a self-directed learning approach, it's possible to also stand up or to say, okay, today I would like to learn things in a different way. I would like to go outside or move a bit around. Sometimes, just to leave maybe the classroom for 5 minutes to go for a walk or whatever, makes it way more flexible and beneficial for your health. And it's even more fun for the teachers, I guess, because I think every teacher is happy if the students are motivated. So, and usually this should be the case if they can decide or if they have more the power on the decision making. And the preparation work is a different one. Think it's way less content preparation because you don't have to present a 2 hour course where you have to do a monologue on a topic, but it's, yeah, and so you don't have to present 2 hours of presentation every week or day or whatever. And I think it's also nice when students don't see you as a judge, but more as a helper, a supporter, and also to feel that there's collaboration and that the learning process is something that you go through together. And because I also felt working with children sometimes that they are teaching me things instead of the other way around. So it's more like about an exchange of knowledge. So, and also there is a different kind of relationship with the students because it's not that power position that maybe also children are scared of, but it's like way more personal because you have to listen. You have to listen to what are the interests of every child, so you get to know each other like on a different level. And the main role or the main task, let's say, is that you try to build a positive classroom culture. So you've you care about how children are feeling, like emotionally, maybe if they feel safe, if they feel that they have everything they need to reach their self-set goal. And I guess it's a lighter role because you're more like a facilitator and you don't have to be this know-it-all where you feel like whatever question they make you have to have the answer, because yeah, you're in this learning process together. And I think this is fun. I always enjoyed. So let's have a look at the 3 L's of self-directed learning. The 3 L's of self-directed learning is a concept that divides also, it's talking like about 3 parts, like 3 important parts of the self-directed learning approach. The first is lifelong learning. It's something that we also talked about already before a bit. It's the fact that you see learning not as something that stops after school, but it's something that continues all our lives. And this is like something also really important to learn, like how we said before, how to learn, how to cooperate, to feel that it's way easier when we learn with others, when we have like an exchange between this different disciplines. That it's not like really not so divided in courses, but it's more smooth. And that the goal is also to keep always your mind curious and open, and that the wish of learning new things and collaborate and create networks and experiment is something that should continue. Like it's like a basic skill of life and not only for the time in school. The next one is leverage. Leverage is talking about that it's really important also for people, or in this case for children, to feel that what they are learning and what they know to do has like a positive impact not only on themselves but also on the people around. So in which kind does the things that I know and that I can share be a service also to other people? So yeah, I think it's a lot about feeling useful and about community also, like to feel that it's important that there's me because I know doing this thing and it's something that other people maybe don't know how to do because they have other talents. And I feel that, yeah, I think it's something that is really beautiful to feel that. the skills that I have are can be a service. And the last one is labor of love. Um, labor of love is talking about following like your heart, your passion, like what you love to do. And one question of this, or to ask also maybe yourself, is what would I do if no one would pay me? Like, because usually or often we choose maybe also our work based on the income, but labor of love is teaching also like the importance um to feel like what is my talent, like what do I really love to do, and what do I feel is useful. And because I think it's very important also for children to feel like, okay, in which world do they want to live, and what are the change that they can bring. So yeah, I think it's a lot of doing what you love. So now I want to have a look at the 6 conditions that optimize children's ability to educate themselves. So it's about what are the is the environment that is ideal to allow children to educate themselves, to follow a self-directed learning approach. So it's important that the children feel that it's their responsibility, their own education. So yeah, that it's something that is clear from the beginning. Okay, it's your responsibility, you have the freedom, but you have also responsibility in this path. The second point is unlimited opportunity to play. Play is like a really important part, that children feel that there is a lot of time where they can play. And I think there is also one other point that comes later, the free mixing of children of different ages. Um, yeah, because I feel that in the playing, and it's also something that I often observed, that playing is like a really important teacher, because you learn so much about cooperation and empathy and a lot of soft skills that usually maybe when you sit in a classroom would never come up. But especially when you're mixed with different ages, there is this thing that there's always a smaller one that maybe needs help, and the bigger one that can teach something. And so it's like really a natural way of learning about how to interact, how to communicate, how to teach, and how to listen and everything. So this is like really beneficial. And then it's important that children feel that they have access to a variety of caring adults that are helpers and not judges. So yeah, it's definitely beneficial that there's not only one person that they can talk to, but maybe more different persons, and also not only males but also females, and like all like different, that they can choose. Because maybe there's one person that I feel I trust, and for the other person it's different. So mm, yeah, it's definitely useful if there are maybe also different ages. I feel that it's always beautiful if they also have maybe someone who's a bit closer to their age, and one older person, and someone in the middle. So they have like different points of view also. And and then also the community around is really important, that it's a stable community, a moral community with maybe democratic structures also there. So it's not something that you teach as an adult but you don't put in practice on your own. So I also felt like in environments where there is like a healthy communication between the adults, automatically also the children act more friendly and more respectful. So it's like it's mirroring a bit this part. Um, So yeah, it's really important, the environment also, and that they have the opportunity also to play without being scared of something, to feel in a safe environment. Yeah. This is a video that I won't show you now. You can watch it like independently afterwards. Now I would like to tell you a bit about our own experiences at our school, Albero della Tuscia in Italy. The first picture is about a period where we were doing like walks once a week. And there we felt a lot this the beauty of if children choose what they want to do, because they felt like they want to do this walk once a week. They were choosing all together where to go, obviously only if it's possible. And there was one child that was into maps, so he was planning the route where we will go. And and they were like organizing a bit between themselves. And also while the walks, it was really beautiful to see how the different interests were shared. Like there were children who were really interested into the plants, so they were making a lot of questions about the plants, or children who knew about plants. So there was a natural sharing between knowledge while walking. So also this is like a really important part, because there was even the movement while learning that is on the other side then beneficial, like physically. And was like always one day a week that is a really free process that we could observe. And then in the center you see like the circle. I think the circle is like a really important element in our school. One is in the beginning of the year, we do a circle where every child can share what they want to learn in this year or in this upcoming month. So everything seems possible. Like every child feels free to share their interests. And then we see, obviously, like depending on what resources we have, but how we can combine and find a spot like for every interest. And this is then also the day or the days afterwards where we try to find a schedule for the week, in which we try to integrate like every child's wishes. Then there is also like one circle every week where the school council, like where the children meet with the teachers, and everyone can share if they have requests, problems like conflicts, or if they want to change something about the class or way of learning and so on. So this is also like a moment where they feel that it's important what they are thinking. And they can make decisions, like they decide all together, like in a group, in what to change, maybe about cooking or spaces, like if they want to change something in the classroom or rules. And so it's a really important part, I think, and also for the children to feel that their voice is heard and important, and they can affect some changes in the daily school life. And in general, like I mean, our school is in the heart of a forest, so there is like a lot of time outside, and we have a lot of free play time, like in the morning and after lunch. And there's like a lot of mixing also between the ages. So we always observe, like at one side, like the need of playing, the joy of playing, like independent of on the age, and also how this free time is beneficial for the soft skills of all the children, because it's natural that they have to communicate between each other. They have to solve conflicts, because conflicts always arise, I think, where humans are. So there are many essential skills, I think, that happen and that are improved in this free time, that it's not controlled by an adult, but it's more like something that naturally happens. And then in the last picture in up here, you see like one moment that I remember really well. That was a day where we didn't have electricity, so we had to be really creative on how to organize the lesson, because outside was cold. So we turned on all the candles and we had the fireplace behind, and it was an art class. And I remember this day we were like not a lot of children, so there was the possibility of being really really flexible. And I remember that every child wanted to do something different, and so yeah, I tried to meet like all the wishes, and it was beautiful to see that it's possible to stay in one room and everyone is following his own project. And one was weaving, the other one wanted to paint, and one wanted, I think, to do knitting. So yeah, and I felt that it really kept them also motivated and focused, because they choose their project and they wanted to bring it on. So yeah. So thank you for listening. And those are the resources that I used. I mean, a lot of things came also from our own experiences or from experiences of others that I heard. And yeah, I think if you are interested in learning more about self-directed learning, you can have a look at them. There are books, there are videos, and yeah, we will share also other material, I think, about similar topics. And yeah, thank you.